Good morning, Coach Devin here. It is early. Some days I get up super early to go to work. Today is one of them. This morning it is 4:45 in the morning. I'm on the bike. I'm going to talk about something I read in the news this morning. Every day I get up, I answer email, hop on the bike, answer emails, and then I read the news because I'm a bit of a news junkie. I'm not going to talk coronavirus because I'm not a doctor. I have no idea. I have no answers for anything. Except wash your hands, kids. What I can talk about is something else I read. The U.S. women's soccer team, which are highly decorated, amazing athletes, and have done very well recently, are now suing because they are paid substantially less than the men's teams. Okay, well, that makes sense to me. It doesn't seem like, I grew up in an environment with a family. My mom and dad felt that equal pay for work of equal value, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, only makes sense. What is amazing to me is not so much this is happening, because latent sexism, chauvinism, misogyny, it's out there. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but let's get down to it. A lot of times women are paid less money than men for the same work because people somehow discount what they can do and say, well, I can get you for cheaper and what you do doesn't count. It's stupid. Anybody who wants to debate me on that, you're a moron. End of the story, period. Like, if you do the same job, you should be paid the same. But it doesn't surprise me, because there's moron out there everywhere who will say, oh, women shouldn't be paid as much as men for a myriad of dumb reasons. What's amazing is the response from, I believe, U.S. soccer, for the reason they're not willing to pay women the same as men, is this: women's soccer requires less skill than men's soccer. I'm gonna let that one sink in for a second, because it's that dumb. Women's soccer requires less skill than men's soccer. That has to be the most mind-numbingly dumb thing I've heard in a long time. And they filed that for court. It was filed for court. The amazing part about this is, even if we're gonna say, okay, well, maybe you guys have a point, which they don't, but let's say they do somehow, then they need to fire their men's soccer team, because their men's soccer team, well, let's break it down. The women's Olympic U.S. team has won four World Cups. They've also won 4 Olympic gold medals. The men's, 0. In fact, the men's team didn't even make the World Cup. That's how bad they were in comparison. Now, I'm not saying the men's team is terrible. Pro sports in general, very, very hard. I don't think the average person has any idea. Having played sports in college, I know how hard it is. It's tough. I thought I was a pretty good athlete in high school. I'm not. When you go to the pro level or semi-pro level, we're talking freaks of nature who are absolutely, into their sport, and that's their only life. And you know what? My hat's off to them, good for them. What amazes me about this lawsuit is the actual thought that somehow to be a woman and play a sport, it's easier than men's because the skill levels are easier. Guys, it's the same damn sport. It's exactly the same sport. So you take the best in the world doing this, soccer, and if you say, I'm gonna put them against the best in the world doing the same thing, all I can say is the men's team, quite obviously, significantly less skilled in the U.S. than the women's team, because of the fact that they can't win. They're going against basically the same competition, the world. They can't even make the World Cup. Women's team, gold, 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 gold. World Cup, World Cup, World Cup, World Cup. Now, maybe I'm missing something, and I don't know what it is I possibly could be missing on this, and if I am, comment and tell me, but to me, this just has to be the most asinine thing I've read in maybe, I don't know, are we at the 1940s suddenly? It's quite clear that being a pro athlete is hard, and you have a highly decorated women's team has won everything. If anything, they should be paid more than the men, not less, because they're better. Period. End of discussion. It blows my mind. I mean, this is right after International Women's Day, and that's the thought process. It's not as hard. Well, I gotta tell you, it's just as hard. It's the same damn sport. And at the end of the day, the women are just better. If anything, the men's team in the US should make less money because they're not as good. Period. End of the comment. Sorry, it's just the word. Those are facts. It is what it is. If you're the best at what you do, I don't care if you have purple skin, green skin, you think that, you self-identify as a door. If you're better, you should be paid more. If you're worse, pay them less. Men's team, they're overpaid. Period. No questions. You're overpaid if you're supposed to be playing so well and another team of women is outplaying you and they're being paid less. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It just blows my mind. I'm kind of disgusted by it this morning. It's a bit of a rant today, but I just can't get over this. It amazes me. Comment, tell me what you think about this story. It's a sort of mind-bending that we're even having this happen. Like I said, I feel like I'm in the 1940s. Have yourself an amazing day, guys. Hopefully somebody makes this thing right, because that women's team deserves to be paid. Don't fight the awesome.